Hello YouTube! Finally! Oh, the troubles I've had with this video. But anyway, this is the start of a series that I'm doing on F1 2011. And it's like a career, but it's not really a career because it's going to be customized. As in, I'm going to choose only the tracks I want to do for this little season that I'm doing. So I'm doing it in Grand Prix mode rather than career mode. And basically, I just wanted to pick my 10 favourite tracks from the calendar and mix them up a bit, the order of them, and do a little season in a Lotus-Renault, Nick Heidfeld's Lotus-Renault. And as you just saw, the aids I've got on, I've got them all off except for I've got automatic gear changes because I'm using a controller rather than a wheel. And I think it's quite difficult to do that on top of everything else with a controller, and it wouldn't be very interesting to see me doing really badly, so I'm not going to do manual gear shifts. But these are the tracks, as you can see so far: Montreal, Monza, Spa, New Delhi in India, Yas Marina, the Abu Dhabi circuit, and these are just my favourite tracks really from the year, and the ones I've enjoyed racing on the most in F1 2011. So I've got Melbourne on there as well. It's going to be another 4. Nürburgring is one of them. There we go. Budapest, I think, is another. Yep. So yeah, I have had quite a bit of trouble getting this video out because just so many reasons, like processing the video initially to edit it. Editing it has taken me a while. And actually doing this recording's taken me quite a while because my recording equipment keeps screwing up, but hopefully this time it should be okay. I've been quite busy as well, so I mean I recorded the footage for this a while ago, like 2 weeks ago now. So hopefully this time everything goes smoothly and I can get it up on YouTube without any further delays. I mean, you guys probably won't have noticed because it's the first one in the series, so it just comes out when it comes out. But I'll try and get them out a bit more speedily after this one. So anyway, here we are in Montreal, the first race. I'll just show you the race strategy first. 4 stops. Option, prime option, prime option. And that was recommended to me and I couldn't be bothered to change it. And eventually I think I show you the positioning in terms of where I am, where my teammate is. There we are. Alonso's on pole, and then my teammate Petrov's 7th, and I'm starting 18th because I didn't have a very good qualifying at all. Just the reason I chose a Lotus-Renault is because I didn't want to do this series in one of the quickest cars. I felt like having a bit more of a challenge, possibly more interesting racing. Lotus-Renault's not too far off the front pace, and it's a very nice looking car. It's a car I like, so I'm using that for this series. And we're going onto the grid now for the start of this first race of this series. Starting from P18 with Perez and Barrichello ahead of me and Trulli behind. What can we do off the line? We can get a decent start by the looks of it, past Perez and Barrichello. Coming up to Maldonado on the left, there's Buemi, go around the outside of Buemi and hit the Force India of Di Resta. Coming into the second corner, nearly make contact with Di Resta again. And accelerating out of turn 2 towards the chicane, up the inside of Di Resta, but he goes past me on the outside. Hit him again. Don't know why he was braking there. Odd place to be braking. But then I've given up trying to understand the AI sometimes on this game. I mean, most of the time it's okay, but there's little things like that you just think, really? You're braking there, you're braking on a straight for no reason at all. Anyway. I'm not going to rant about this, about F1 2011. F1 2012 is going out soon, so hopefully they can fix some things there. Once again hitting Paul Di Resta, and then coming back up the inside and going through into 13th. And now I'm on his teammate, Sito. I'm all over him. On the outside. Slightly faster than him and just getting ahead. Turn the fuel up to rich. for the first few laps. Let's try and pull away from the guys behind and put pressure on the people ahead of me. As we're in the first lap, I've got my teammate Petrov up in front. He started 7th, so he's obviously not had a good start there. And he's got a Sauber ahead of him that looked like a Japanese flag, so that must be Kobayashi in 10th. So here we go through this at the end of the first sector. Within a second behind Petrov, but obviously no DRS yet, because this is only lap 2. You get it from lap 3 onwards. It'd be nice to be in DRS range though when I get it, when it's enabled. Although he's pulled away from me a bit after that chicane, which I know already I'm going to have a few problems with that chicane in this race, just in terms of keeping it on the track and not hitting the wall coming out of there because of the traction. I deployed the last bit of my cursor coming out of the hairpin onto this long back straight. Petrov's well ahead of me, and he's overtaken Kobayashi in fact. So that's my teammate into 10th, and now I've got Kobayashi in front of me. So I'll be looking to try and catch him and overtake him in the next few laps. DRS enabled. Thank you, race engineer, for that token of information. Coming out of turn 2 quite nicely. Deploying some curves, and then going wide onto the grass. Has that lost me much time? It looks like it's lost me a bit of time, but not loads. Just over a second behind Kobayashi. There's a car in the wall. That's Hamilton, I think. Yeah, it was Hamilton. So he's in the wall. Is that the end of his race? Will that bring out a safety car? Well, it's green flag, so possibly not, although sometimes safety cars don't come out for a while. And then they do decide to deploy it. So I've been slower in the first 2 sectors of this lap, and I've skipped ahead to lap 4 on the main straight, coming up to the last chicane before the pit straight. And I go wide across, but there's contact up ahead between my teammate and Kobayashi. And Kobayashi looks to be slowing down, and I've gone past him. So I'm up to 10th. 11th when Hamilton went off, and now 10th in the points with my teammate just ahead in 9th. But it looked as though there was that bit of contact coming out of the last chicane between Kobayashi and Petrov. They were side by side, and there was contact, and it obviously damaged Kobayashi. It really has damaged him, because now De Resta's behind me in 11th. Lap 5 out of 35. Braking for this chicane, which I find a bit fiddly, a bit difficult to see there. I brushed the wall. And then into this chicane, which is it's not chicane, it's a hairpin in fact. So as you can see, the pit stop indicator has come up, which means I am coming in this lap for my first of 4 pit stops. Tyres aren't too badly worn, but I'd rather pit them now with them being not too warm rather than let them get completely worn and lose a load of time. So this is the first pit stop of this season. Let's see how we get on. I'm being held up because there was a Force India coming in, and there was also a Toro Rosso coming into his stop. So that was a 5.5 second stop when it could have been about a 4 second stop, I'd imagine. But I come out in 13th.
We've put a new set of prime tyres on the car. That leaves you with 3 stops remaining.
So yeah, another 3 pit stops to do in this race. Jumping ahead to the end of lap 6 and the start of lap 7, because other people will be coming in now. We can see what position I'm in, if I've gained anything.
There are quite a few cars in
And
the pits right
up to
now.
P9, so I was 10th, I'm up to 9th, and it looks like I'm ahead of my teammate. It's showing him as 10th. Yeah, so I've moved up to 9th. So even though I had a slow stop, I don't know, Petrov must have had an even worse one, because I'm ahead of him. And now we skip ahead again, a few more laps to lap 13. And I've got Petrov behind me and Massa in front of me. Oh, it's Vettel slowed right down. What's happened? What's happened there? What's happened there? Vettel's slowing right down. That must have been something with a back marker or something. Because he's picked up the pace again. It's not a problem with his car by the looks of it. Oh, now I've outbraked myself in all the excitement. So Vettel with problems. But he's picked up the pace again. So I don't know, I guess he must have been blocked off or something. Because he really did slow down dramatically. But that's given me a bit more incentive to push on. See if I can get past the Red Bull of Sebastian Vettel as I just clip the wall there on the way out of the last chicane. See if we can see this gap. 1.5 seconds behind Vettel already. Although I did, oh, bad traction coming out of there, almost losing the back end. So lap 14 out of 35, coming up to halfway and running a bit wide and once again brushing the wall. Been quite lucky to get away with those so far. Petrov's right behind me. He was obviously able to catch up in the confusion when Vettel slowed me down. But he's now pulled right away, I can hardly see him.
Don't forget, pit in this lap.
2 seconds. 2.3, I think? I can't really see it because I'm watching this on a small little screen, so yeah, I can't really see that, but it was definitely 2 seconds. And now I'm coming in for my second pit stop after a 9-lap stint on prime tyres, and Vettel has come in. I think that's Vettel. Yeah, he has come in. So his problem, well, did that cause his pit stop, or was he due to come in then anyway? Well, I don't know, but let's see how this pit stop goes. Held up again by Force India, and Vettel manages to get out ahead of me. So he's not going to be held up too much, because I imagine I probably am slower than him. Fuel mix back up to Rich. Cutting the white line there, coming out of the pit lane, but of course this game doesn't penalise you for that. Strangely. Oh, another brush against the wall.
Perez should be coming in to change his tyres within the
Lap
next
15
3 laps.
out of 35, running a bit wide there on these new tyres. I'm never good. When the tyres are cold, I do struggle a bit until they're up to temperature, especially with the primes. I just find the primes on this game a nightmare, and just as if to prove my point, I run wide over the grass on that chicane. But yeah, prime tyres in this game, I just don't get on well with them. They're just so lacking in grip, and yeah, I just don't find I have much confidence using them, but you of course have to, so you have to make do. Or at least have a really good stint on the softer tyres, which is what I'll try to do here. See if I can keep up with Sebastian Vettel, cutting the corner a bit there, get a warning for corner cutting. And up to 9th, so
You're coming up to one of the Red Bulls.
I've managed to stay ahead of my teammate again. Was I 9th before? I think I probably was, because it said I was 8th before Vettel slowed down, but that must have been, someone else must have pitted, I think, because it wasn't showing me as 9th, as 8th rather, before that.
Vettel's next, line him up for a pass.
Vettel's just over a second ahead. Can we get into DRS range? Take that hairpin. Almost took it better and then clicked the wall, so that was good. Not.
The car ahead is slower in sector
1.3 seconds behind, so not going to get DRS for another lap. Haven't had it yet in the race. Wonder if Petrov got it. I didn't see how close he was. Alonso's just set a fastest lap. And oh, bumping over the track. What's going on? despite all that, it was a fast one. 1:13.398. For some reason I can see that. I could see that one quite clearly, but I couldn't see the thing before. I don't know why that is, but yeah, that's a pretty quick lap up with race pace. So I'm actually keeping pace with Vettel, which is quite surprising. Just need to find another 3 or 4 tenths to get into the DRS zone. DRS range, I should say. As once again I clip that wall. You see the problems I'm having with that chicane.
Traffic ahead, stay alert.
For whatever reason. So yeah, up to almost half distance now. And I'm a couple of seconds clear of Petrov. And now Webber's doing the fastest lap. Quite a bit quicker than my effort. And taking the chicane, the last one, a bit better that time. And we did a decent lap time. 1:13.7, so that's okay. A little bit slower than before. And now we've got someone ahead as I go wide and clip another wall. Oh dear. And now, oh, Vettel's gone off. And it's another back marker. Well, assuming it was a back marker before, but that's Timo Glock, who really held Vettel up there and caused him to spin off. So that's moved me up into 8th, and now it's Alguersuari up ahead of me in 7th position. Well, that was really a big problem there for Vettel. He really did get held up quite badly. And it caused him to hit the wall and spin out. So, you know, I've hit the wall a few times, but luckily for me I haven't spun out rather. Vettel just did. That's ruined his race. Webber does another fast lap, 1:12.6. So he's really pushing hard now as we skip forward to lap 20 with me still behind Alguersuari. And this is my 3rd pit stop. Going on to the prime tyres again. Where will this leave me? With 15 laps still to go. Held up once more. This time by a Lotus. Be nice to get a clean pit stop. And coming out into some traffic. Got Maldonado just ahead of me. These guys must not have pitted yet, so that's not a great place to come out of a pit stop. P12 with about 3 or 4 cars close ahead of me and Perez just behind me. But that's Maldonado, and then trying to see who's ahead of him, but I can't see who it is. Oh, this looks like there's a back marker. That's the Utsi. So as long as I can get past him okay, that's one car I don't have to worry about. It's Maldonado and 3 other cars, even now. One of them's a Force India. Can I get DRS? I don't think I will. Even now, I'm not going to get... Oh, I am going to get DRS. Is it going to have much effect? It doesn't look like it is. Because Maldonado must have it as well. And he's got slipstream, and him and the Force India went into the pits, which threw me off a bit, which is why I ran wide. Is this Petrov?
Sutil is coming into the pit lane. He's entering
Have I lost out to Petrov, or is he just not pitted? I really hope it's that he's not pitted yet. Someone's just ahead of him who left the pits. I think it might be Alguersuari. So either Petrov's made up a lot of time, or he just hasn't pitted yet. And I can't say for certain which one it is. And I guess only time will tell. Or if I can just overtake him, it won't matter anyway.
Slower traffic ahead. Be careful when overtaking. They should let you
There's
through.
another car ahead of this little group of 3 that's probably needs to be lapped rather than someone we're racing for positions. I get DRS again, but Petrov should have it as well. And Alguersuari, is he going to try and move? Doesn't look like he is going to try it. Nope. We'll both get DRS again. Will we see him move this time? I don't think Perez is close enough. I'm definitely not close enough. And I nearly hit him. Nearly hit my teammate. And I'm going to have a look up the inside here. And, ooh, that was very close. Could have easily lost my front wing there, or had contact and spun out, so that was a bit lucky. And more contact again. I'm trying to cut back up the inside. And using some curves, and I'm level with him. And I've got ahead of him. I've got ahead of Petrov, so even if he's just gained loads of time in the pit stop, it doesn't matter because I've regained the position I had before the stops. And next up is Jaime Alguersuari in the Toro Rosso. He's had a storming race if he's up there, because Buemi is back in, well, I saw him in 14th and 15th, so that's a cracker from Alguersuari. Skipped ahead a couple of laps there, it's lap 25 now, and I'm right up behind Alguersuari. So once again, I'll be thinking, can I get DRS and overtake him using that? With 10 laps to go, I've got one more stop.
Pace is good, pace is good.
Pace is good, that's nice to hear. But I don't know if, I reckon he probably does have to stop again, Alguersuari. I mean, I'm on the prime tyres and I've got to stop again. If he's on the prime tyres, then he might have to stop again. If he's on the softer tyres, he definitely will have to. There's no way they'll survive to the end of the race. And even if they were to survive, you'd lose a lot of time on them. As I get another dose of DRS, and I should catch up quite a lot now because he hasn't got anyone to slipstream, and I have caught up a lot, and not quite going to be able to make it into the chicane. But I'm going to have another dose for the straight. This could be the moment where I move up to 7. Slipstreaming as well, and up the inside, a little bit of contact, and I'm just back out of it. That was a chance, and he is on, I think I saw he's got the red tyres, which means he's on the option, so surely he has to pit again as well. So this is a legitimate race 4 position for P7. And I'm guessing Petrov did have to pit because now DeRest is 9th.
Good pace, keep pushing.
So something must have happened to Petrov at some point, because he was right up behind me before my last pit stop. Maybe he got involved in the accident where Vettel spun off. Maybe he was caught up in that. So here we go into the hairpin just before DRS, and I'm right up behind Alguersuari, and I'll deploy Kurz as well. This should be an overtake now. Shouldn't have a problem as I deploy DRS, and this should be an easy take, and up the inside, up into 7th with 9 laps to go. 7th place, and I'll get DRS again so I can pull away. So that's helpful. And next up is Schumacher in P6. 2 seconds ahead, doesn't seem very far. Oh, is that him coming out of the pits actually? Looks like it is. And oh, poor traction. Poor traction there, but I managed to hold on to that. The rear end was sliding around. Well, Schumacher's just been in the pits, so I guess that's his last stop. So this probably isn't for position, because I still have to stop again and switch onto the option tyres one last time. So I'd imagine that 7th is as good as it's going to get from here, because I can't see anyone ahead of Schumacher who might still have to stop. Would be close enough for me to get to. So it looks like I just need to manage the gap to Alguersuari, and I skip ahead to lap 29, which is the lap on which I'm coming in for the 4th and hopefully last time, as long as I don't mess up. Braking into the pit lane once more. I think Alguersuari's coming in as well. Let's hope I don't get held up this time.
Exit now.
And we don't. So that's a 4-second stop. Finally.
There's some traffic at the pit exit. Watch out as you rejoin the track.
They're saying there's traffic. Is there traffic? I can't see any. So now I'm 2 seconds clear of Alguersuari. And just running a bit wide there. Lap 30 out of 35, lap 34 out of 35. Coming up to the start of the final lap. Oh, and then big oversteer. Oh, that was lucky that I held that. That was really lucky. That could have been it. That could have been in the wall, out of the race. Seriously lucky to get away with that one. So I guess the positions were pretty much set after the, a bit more spinning out there. So yeah, I guess the positions were pretty much set after that last stop for me. Rosberg 10 seconds clear and Alguersuari 3 seconds back. Jenson Button's won the race. So this is on the last lap, just trying to come around and finish the job. Hopefully do a fast lap. You can see some cars up ahead. They must be back markers, but they're not gonna impede me, I don't think, from here. So started 18th, and as long as nothing goes wrong here for the next 5 or 10 seconds, finished 7th. So that's an exciting race, making up quite a few positions. Overtakes right up until the last few laps and over the finish line in P7. And yeah, fast lap to finish off. So I'll leave up the standings for you guys to look at. Race 2 will be Monza, I think. And I'll see you guys soon. Thanks for watching. Subscribe, there's more on the way.